Well, 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 during their little break, Miss Martin met Mr. Stevenson and things got steamy. She claims he treated her like a superstar, unlike Mr. Blackman. And guess what? Even after patching things up with Mr. Blackman, she kept the fire alive with Mr. Stevenson. Modern-day love triangles. No wonder Mr. Blackman is questioning whether he's the father of the youngest. Miss Martin played a thrilling game of Who's the Daddy and informed both Mr. Blackman and Mr. Stevenson about her pregnancy. She was enjoying the company of both men during conception, but Mr. Blackman had his doubts from the start. Mr. Stevenson, on the other hand, disappeared faster than a magician on a caffeine high, thanks to Miss Martin's delightful taunts about being a deadbeat dad.
I look at it and tell you know this ain't my baby. There's no way. She telling me, well, it's a possibility.
Because it is a possibility. We had sex.
Plot twist alert. It seems that Mr. Stevenson did manage to show up at the hospital after the baby was born. Oh, the things we learn in court. Mr. Blackman's jaw drops to the floor because he had no clue about this little rendezvous. Miss Martin justifies it by saying she gave the baby Mr. Blackman's last name. Smooth move, Miss Martin, trying to pin the baby on him from the get-go.
He want the baby to have his name, but he didn't want to sign a birth certificate. But drilling me about a last name or a name, and I gave him Blackman.
Hold up, folks. Mr. Blackman's sister suddenly enters the picture. She declares her unwavering support for Miss Martin and her kids, especially the youngest one. Why? Oh, just because she sees a striking resemblance between the child and her brother. A real DNA expert, this sister. But hey, Mr. Blackman, don't forget all the women you've been bringing home. Karma's a funny thing, isn't it?
The day the baby was born to right now. So, Ms. Blackman, let me ask you, do you believe Ramir is your biological nephew?
Oh boy, the judge is losing her patience. Miss Marsh has managed to create a massive mess in everyone's lives with her cheating and deceit. Bravo, Miss Martin, for leaving the young baby without a father. You've really outdone yourself.
Is the only people that have truly paid for these mistakes is Ramir and Ms. Blackman.
And now the moment we've all been waiting for, the paternity results. And surprise, surprise, Mr. Stevenson is the daddy. Cue the tears of regret for Miss Martin, who suddenly realizes the extent of her actions. She rushes to hug her dear brother, Mr. Blackman. Oh, the emotions, the drama.
You are his father.
Oh, we're in for a real treat, folks. Miss Marsh is here to prove that Mr. Belding Jr. is the daddy of her child. But hold on tight, because Mr. Belding Jr. and his mommy dearest are denying it. They claim that the child actually belongs to Mr. Belding Sr., dear old dad, who apparently had a little fling with Miss Marsh. Talk about a family affair.
He had nowhere to go. Literally, I asked his sister, and his sister said, no, I'm not going to let a man I call my dad stay on the street.
Mr. Belding Jr. insists that Miss Marsh has slept around with other men too. But wait, he was sure that it was his dear old dad who got cozy with her. How does he know? Well, because when Mr. Belding Sr. moved to Indiana, he conveniently crashed at Mr. Marsh's place instead of, any other friend or family member's house. Miss Marsh defends herself by saying that Mr. Belding Sr.'s sister wasn't too keen on having him crash at her place. Oh, the family drama.
Just when I moved back to Indiana, there was a bunch of my friends that had said she had slept with them after she had slept with me.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Hold on a minute, folks. Mr. Belding Jr. is here to drop a bombshell. He claims that he's only been intimate with Miss Marsh once. But wait, Miss Marsh has a different story to tell. According to her, they've gotten frisky 3 times. And guess what? It's only been 2 months since she moved in with her new flame, Mr. Hull. Oh, the tangled web we weave. Mr. Belding Sr. vehemently denies the accusations, claiming he's always been a father figure to Miss Marsh. He insists they never shared a bed and their differing job schedules made any scandalous acts impossible. The denial game is strong in this courtroom.
How do you feel if your son is accusing you of being the father of Ms. Marsh's daughter?
It's a little frustrating. I feel...
Enter Mr. Hull, the knight in shining armor. He tells the court that he treats Miss Marsh's 3-year-old child like his very own. He's doing all the daddy duties, folks. But hold your horses, because Miss Marsh insists that she never cheated on Mr. Belding Jr. during their relationship. Enough is enough, folks. The judge has had it with all this back and forth. It's time for the moment of truth. The DNA tests and lie detector results are in. Brace yourselves. Turns out Mr. Belding Jr. is indeed the biological father of the child. And wait for it, according to the lie detector, Miss Marsh was telling the truth about not getting down and dirty with Mr. Belding Sr. What a shocker! Miss Walters is on a mission to prove that Mr. Rogers is the proud papa of her son, Rylan. Apparently, their families have been living in one big happy Brady bunch for the past 2 decades. But wait, hold the phone. Nobody had a clue that they were getting down and dirty because, they were practically siblings. Oh, the plot thickens. Oh dear, Mr. Rogers can't deny it anymore. He admits to their steamy romance, but denies the child. Classic move, Mr. Rogers. He's pointing the finger at Miss Walters, claiming she was getting cozy with another guy. Talk about a love triangle gone wrong. And let's not forget that Mr. Rogers also had a little vacation in the slammer for a couple of months because he couldn't cough up the child support. Smooth moves, buddy.
Mr. Rogers, you say you spent 2 months in jail for unpaid child support and are currently behind more than $2,500 in payments for a child who is not yours.
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, folks. It seems Mr. Rogers' mommy is none too pleased. The once happy families used to frolic together on vacations and trips, but now it's all ruined because of this little paternity debacle. Enter Mr. Rogers' sister, the bestie of Miss Walters. She spills the beans and confirms that, yep, they were indeed getting intimate. But hold on, there was another guy in the picture. Looks like Mr. Rogers might not be the only potential baby daddy.
That she did sleep with the other guy. Then 6 weeks later, I'm staying at her house. She comes home, she breaks down on the floor crying because she finds out she's pregnant. The time she does not know who the father is.
Hold your horses, folks. Miss Walters has a bombshell to drop. She reveals that Mr. Rogers already has a 4-year-old son from a previous relationship. So that explains why he's hesitant to step up to the plate. Miss Walters insists that she had protected sex with the other guy, so there's no way Mr. Rogers isn't the father. Oh, the tangled web of love and protection. Now it's time for the moment of truth, folks. The results are in, and surprise, surprise, the child is indeed Mr. Rogers' spawn. The family gets all emotional, regretting not being there for the little one sooner. But hey, better late than never, right? They're ready to embrace the child and become a full-time family. Oh, what a heartwarming ending.